Mara Haristane Aparadne Hare Hari Nam Tamastane Aparadhe Narikaya Dham Atomara Hridoye Sadam Govinda Govinda kahena Vaishnava Mukha Para Govinda kahena Mama Vaishnava Para Vati janme Horiyatra Varanero Guri Vati janme Horiyatra Varanero Narotame karo daya aponaro hori Narotame karo daya aponaro Narotama karo daya apunaro hori Prabhu hai, Prabhu hai, Prabhu hai, Prabhu hai. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Sri Rupa Manjari Pada, same or Sampada, same or Bhajana Pujan. हाँ 50. Sri Rupa Manjari Pada Se Mora Sampada Sri Rupa Manjari Pada Se Mora Bhajana Pujana Se Mora Pradhano Se Mora Bharano Se Mora
চিরদিন তাপিত জীবন চিরদিন চিরদিন তাপিত জীবন মহাপ্রভু মোর দয়া দেহ মোরে পদ ছায়া মহাপ্রভু মোর দয়া দেহ মোরে পদ ছায়া অনরতম লইল শরণ অনরতম নরতম লইল শরণ जय रूप गोस्वामी प्रभु रूप गोस्वामी प्रभु रूप गोस्वामी प्रभु कृपा करो मोरे दया करो प्रभु कृपा करो मोरे दया करो जय गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद It's page 122. Srila Gurudev sang this for our Srila Prabhupada just before Prabhupada left. Hari Hari Kabe Mora Hoide Sudino Hari Hari Kabe Mora Hoide Sudino Bhajiva Shri Radha Krishna Jaya Prema Dina Jayam Premishaya Gamo Sumadhura Tano Anande Kari Bodhuha Upaguna Rana Radhika Govinda Gori Andi Bayo Saitare Devi Beso Kalayana Rayanera Nire Para Karuna Karo Rupasana Kano Raghunatha Dasamara Shiva Bora Karunakara Lalita Visakha Satya Bhave Siddhamastu Palayadi Sakha Saveni Karadaya Rukmaraya Saveni Karadaya Rukmaraya Prakalakaraya Sada Narottama Daso Prakalakaraya Sada Adhama Daso Sapo Narottama, Sapo Narottama, Sapo Narottama, Sapo Narottama, Sapo Srila Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya
Page 99. They are the
Anilo Prema Dhano Aruna Heno Prabhu Hota Gelo Acharya Thakur Heno Prabhu Hota Gelo Prabhupada Thakur Hello Prabhu Hota Gelo Acharya Thakur Ahamara Saru Rupa Aha Sanatana Aha Dasara Bhunato Hotita Bhavana Ahamara Bhatta Yuga Aha Kabira ekakale kotagela gaura nataraja asane protibamata anale pasibo sarangam kunerani kotagele pabo Shabasangira Sange Ekayla Pilato Se Sangana Paya Hane Narotamo Dato Se Sangana Paya Hane Narotamo Dato Anilo Prematam Aruna Prasura Hello Prabhu Kotagela Prabhupada Thankura Hello Prabhu Kotagela Prabhupada Thankura Prabhu hai, Prabhu hai, Prabhu hai, Prabhu hai. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya. Jaya Gurudeva, 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 Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya.
গৌরাঙ্গ বলিতে হবে পুলকা শরীর page 86, in the tune of Srila Prabhupada. All together. No, repeat. Kulakashari Hari Hari Bolite na Yane Babe Gauranga Bolite Hari 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 Bolite na Yane Babe Ar Kabe Nitai Chade Karuna Hoibe Sansaro Vasana Kabe Kuchhame Ar Kabe Nitai Chade Karuna Hoibe Sansaro Vasana Kame Kuchhame Vishaya Chariya Kame Shuddha Have Mana Kame Hama He Ramo Shri Vrindavan Vishaya Chariya Kame Shuddha Have Mana Kame Hama He Ramo Shri Vrindavan Rupa Raghunath Pade Gorideya Kuti Kabe Hamo Budhamo Se Jumana Priti Rupa Raghunath Pade Gorideya Kuti Kabe Hamo Budhamo Se Rupa Raghunath Pade Rahu Moroya Prarthana Koro Ye Sada Narottamo Daso Rupa Raghunath Pade Rahu Moroya Prarthana
When Srila Prabhupada came back from India, after he being very sick, he went to India, came cured, he came back, devotees were waiting, and they're very anxious. What's he going to say? Will he be pleased with it? Prabhupada didn't say anything. He picked up his karta and he started to sing a song they'd never heard before. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Rajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Rajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Rajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Rajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hare Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nikai Gopinath Nikai Gopinath Nikai Gopinath Srila Prabhupada ki Srila Gurudev ki Nikai Gopinath
राधे राधे शांति शांति Hare Krishna. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayana Namine. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Gaura Preshthaya Bhutale Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyana Keshava Itti Namine. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Itti Namine. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanang pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hey! Radhe Radhe! Radhe Radhe! Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langayate giring yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Ninaparinam. First of all, I offer my Dandava Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Srila Gurudev Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Ashtotara Shata Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And the same thousands of Dandava Pranam in the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Ashtotara Shata Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada, whose Tirobhav Maha Mahotsav, auspicious disappearance anniversary, we are observing today. And then to all of my Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas past, present and future, including all of you who are present today, I offer my Dandava Pranam. So we have gathered here today, assembled on this very auspicious Tirobhav Maha Mahotsava. Our Param Gurudev Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj was explaining why it is called a Mahotsava. It is a festival because technically there is no difference between the appearance and disappearance of a Vaishnava. Because whether or not we physically see them before us, they are always engaged in seva. And so, if they are currently in front of us, and then we don't see them, then we should know that they are continuing their utsav of seva to Mahaprabhu and Sri Radha and Krishna. And yet for us, there must be some acute separation. The speciality of separation bhav, or the mood of separation, is that one will feel more and more inclined towards service. Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj explained that this is the sole reason for the disappearance of Sri Guru from our vision, to increase exponentially the seva bhav within our heart. And that is how we will know that we are experiencing true separation from any Vaishnava. So today, on the anniversary of the disappearance of Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, without whom this place would not exist, and none of us would be here. Without whose mercy, the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Rupa Goswami would not have circulated throughout the world when it did. So first, I don't think I finished that sentence. What was the first? Leave it.
He doesn't want to go first.
Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj would always make sure that every single disciple of Srila Prabhupada received an opportunity to speak. One time there were so many, they only got 5 minutes each. But even if it took 3 days, Srila Gurudev would make sure to give every single one of them an opportunity. But every single one of us who is present here has been touched by him in amazing ways and received so many jewels from him. And so we all have something to share of our appreciation for him. So as the MC, my service is to make sure that 1, we maintain a certain time protocol, and 2, we also keep on topic. Sometimes devotees would start speaking about things which were very, very far from Srila Prabhupada, or maybe not the essential things about what he came to give. And Srila Gurudev would say, I don't want to hear about all of these other things. I want to hear about his speciality, his service to his Gurudev, what he came to give, and what he has done. So I want to just request that we really focus on the personality that we are speaking about. And when we speak, we should speak in such a way that the pure devotees will be pleased by our endeavor to glorify them. Meaning Gurudev will be pleased with our endeavor to glorify and remember Srila Prabhupada. So, on the request of Pujapad Bhaktivedanta Nemi Maharaj, I would like to call on any other disciple of Srila Prabhupada to come forward and speak first. And as I'm looking around the room, I see currently 1. That is Jiva Pavana Prabhu. To please come forward and offer your Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of your Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Shashikala.
And Pujapad Ashram Maharaj is here. Where's Shashikala?
Must be some share.
Pick it up. Whose is this?
It's Gopinath Bhavan.
Whoever works the camera.
Disha. One's there. No, that's why I thought it's share. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Vaishnavas.
Srila Prabhupada.
Okay.
First of all, let me offer my respectful obeisances to the divine grace of Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He so mercifully came into my life and saved me from the clutches of material existence, and then mercifully guided me to the lotus feet of the divine grace of Bhaktivedanta Narayana.
Can you speak up to where they can't hear you at all? Okay.
It's hard for me to speak on this day. So I'm going to try to begin with a happy memory, because inevitably something else will come. But I remember when Srila Prabhupada came to New York City. Hundreds of devotees had gathered from all over the country. Srila Prabhupada was going to have his Rath Yatra festival down the widest and biggest and most famous street in the world, 5th Avenue, New York City. There were hundreds and hundreds of devotees. The temple room had been prepared in such a way that as you came in, there was a huge mural of Arjuna, Krishna on the chariot, and the horses, Bhagavad Gita, just like you see on the cover of the old Bhagavad Gita. And as you looked at the altar, there was Mother Yashoda tying Damodar, there was Lord Chaitanya dancing in front of the Rath Yatra cart. Like this, there was all these paintings that were done directly onto the wall by a devotee named Vishnu Gadar with a spray gun, very expert. And on the far wall, there was the entire Panchatattva. And of course, where Srila Prabhupada was sitting was the Parampara above him. So when Srila Prabhupada came, of course there was so many devotees greeting him with kirtan. And I was trying to see where's Prabhupada, but all I could see were thunders. Like that. All of a sudden the entire crowd dropped to the floor. And I could see Prabhupada. I was the only one standing. Very small stature. I said, that's Prabhupada. I was expecting a giant. And then someone grabbed me and pulled me down. And Srila Prabhupada was going by, and I looked up and I saw his lotus feet. I stole the moment. Srila Prabhupada went into the temple room, paid his obeisances to all the deities, sat down, and then he sang very slowly and very mystically this song that Sripad Dimi Maharaj sang, Jai Radha Madhava. And in New York City there were not a few Madanga players, there were at least 8. And they were very expert and they played together. Big, black, strong devotees, little passionate Mexican devotees. There was ex-Hellas angel devotees, still with the tattoos all over them, playing the Madangas, you know. Prabhupada was playing cocktails very ecstatically, very expertly, and the entire temple went into a great crescendo. I can't remember the exact sequence of events, so I might have one, because we're talking now 50 years ago, 40 years ago. But I remember when Srila Prabhupada was giving class. Just a little background history. Because I became a Hare Krishna devotee, my material father, he tried to strangle me on the steps of the Brooklyn Temple. And I had heard about the pastime of Prahlad Maharaj, so I thought, okay, so I was just like, Hare Krishna, he strangled me, Hare Krishna. Devotees came out, and there was a Kshatriya devotee that managed to put my father away, they pulled me in. Needless to say, there was some post-traumatic stress syndrome. So for Srila Prabhupada, my father was trying to choke me to death. For Srila Prabhupada, I was put for a while in an insane asylum on medication to calm down. Then later, in our devotional life with Srila Prabhupada, we agreed to become a street urchin. We ran around on a peaceful party called the Radha Damodar Traveling Sankirtan Party. We had the most beautiful Radha Damodar deities with us on a bus. And there were other accompanying buses, and we went everywhere. And people spat at us and kicked us. And we got arrested and we were put in jail. So many times. And we went from early morning to late night. Then for Srila Prabhupada, and we took bath in the middle of the winter with ice buckets. Because Srila Prabhupada asked us to take bath every day, early in the morning. And in the airport, we got kicked in the shins and smashed with the suitcases and books torn out of our hands and punched in the face. But for Srila Prabhupada, we happily did it all. And we'd do it again. And again, life after life. As Prabhupada asked us to. He had that power over us. Srila Prabhupada was due to see a play. In New York City, there were some very talented devotees. Rasagya. Prabhupada said she was the greatest actress in the universe. She once did a play of Shrimati Radharani talking to the bumblebee, a soliloquy. And Srila Prabhupada was so pleased with her. He said she was the greatest actress in the universe. Her husband, Aloy Taksha Prabhu, was very tall, sharp, cheekbones, very handsome dancer, professionally trained dancer. They were both professionally trained dancers and actors. There was a devotee named Sudama Maharaj, black devotee anyway. these Vaikuntha players, they arranged this play called The Age of Kali. So I knew the play was going to go on. I had a relationship with the Vaikuntha players because I had been taking dance and theater lessons as well. And I knew more or less when Srila Prabhupada was going to come upstairs, so I went a different way. And I remember I came to the doors of the theater room. I could see Srila Prabhupada coming around with all the devotees behind him doing kirtan. And I ran into the temple, into the theater room. And in the middle of the theater room had been roped off, 2 or 3 rows of seats had been roped off. And I said, oh, I want to get a good seat. So I ran in and I sat down. And then all of a sudden the temple room filled in. And Srila Prabhupada sat right there, just to the left in front of me. And all the sannyasis filled in, and I was sitting there, Bhakti Jeff. And Adikeshwara Swami, the temple president at the time, he looked at me and he always had a big smile, slightly bucket. And he went, very good, you are very good. 3, I was number 3, there was 3 Jeffs, so it was Bhakti 1, Jeff 2, Jeff 3. Very good, very good. So I was looking at Srila Prabhupada, I was totally mesmerized. First of all, he smelled completely of a celestial garden. Someone had given him a lotus flower with a glass tube and he was holding it in his hand like this, very, very aristocratic. He had an amazing aristocratic energy to him. And he had so many garlands. Some of the garlands were made of gardenias, this wonderful scented flower that is imported from Hawaii. And he had sandalwood garlands and rose garlands and so many marigold garlands. And his head was anointed with sandalwood paste and camphor and rose. And I was like, the entire room was filled with his celestial presence. And he seemed to be always, to float, not walk. He sat there, and I was looking at where his seat was, slightly down, his ear, and I was just watching some, and the lights went, and the theater began. And I won't go through the whole play, but they did it a little different. Kali was in a top hat and a cane, and he was like being very, New York, I don't know, what's the name of that famous dancer that used to do the tapping and all that? Fred Astaire style Kali Yuga man. And Rasagya was playing Sin. And all the lines in the play rhymed. My age is Kali, just now begin. I have 500,000 years to have my fun. And she was saying, I'm Sin, and they were going back and forth. And there was these enemies, lust, anger, greed, they were also coming and they were like manipulating them like puppets on a string. And then towards the end of the play, you could hear Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. And little by little, Lord Takshu was playing Lord Chaitanya, and the devotees came in, and Kali was going, no, not this, like this, like that. And they were praying, and basically the Harinam party pushed the personality of Kali and Sin away. It's alright. And all of the people that were playing Sin came back, but they were very controlled, and they were simply spinning around under the influence of the kirtan. And they finished by offering their obeisances flat towards Srila Prabhupada. All Sin and Kali, and they all offered their obeisances. And then the house lights went on, and everyone was waiting for Srila Prabhupada to say something. And you could hear a pin drop. Although there was hundreds of devotees in the room, many of them standing, you could hear, everyone was waiting for Srila Prabhupada. And I was sitting, I could see Srila Prabhupada's profile, and his mouth was slightly open. And although there was no mic, it sounded as if he had a great bombastic mic to speak on. Namo Mahavinindaya Krishna Prema Vidayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goda. And he translated it very slowly, and that was it. And all of the devotees went, Jai! And when I was hearing Srila Prabhupada saying this verse, I was was very much, in fact, I was very new, and I was like, did you hear what he said? Do we hear? And yeah, he said that many times. He said, I'm always new. I always feel like I'm just getting there, you know. No, he said, this is how we offer our boga. We say this 3 times along with like that. And in my mind, I was like, oh, now I understand why all those guys that run around with books, they always dancing in front of Gorni Tai, and you know, a lot of things. And that picture out in front of the theater of Mahaprabhu, the Sudarshan Chakra coming down on Jaga and Madhya, just a lot of things make me realize. Anyway, I surrendered to Srila Prabhupada again, and how much time? I couldn't see that because I don't have my glasses. She did. So my time is up, but we were proud to be a street urchin, proud to be a target in the airports for Srila Prabhupada, and proud to be almost have been strangled to death by my father for surrendering to Srila Prabhupada. And if we had to do it, we'd do it all over again. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Thank you, Jiva Bhavan Prabhu, for sharing your experiences meeting Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So next we would like to call Prabhupada Bhaktivedanta Nemi Maharaj to come forward and offer your Shraddha Pushpanjali to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada.
He's going to stand. He's going to stand.
Namo Vishnupadaya, Krishna Prasthaya, Bhutale, Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namo. Namaste Saraswati Deve, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadishtari. Namo Vishnupadaya, Radhikaya Priyatmane Shishimada Bhaktivedanta Narayani Dinamane. Namo Vishnupadaya Gaura Prasthaya Bhutale Shishima Bhakti Vidyam Bharti Dinamane. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Yayavacha Putitanam Bhavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadishiko. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Offer my humble obeisances and lotus seat to my beloved Diksha Guru, Nityalil Bhavishta, Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Pararadhikacharya Stotra Satshishima Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. Our dearly beloved Srila Prabhupada, whose Tirubhava, auspicious Tirubhava is today. My beloved Shiksha and Sannyas Guru, Shri Shima Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj, my beloved Shiksha Guru, Shri Bhaktivedanta Bhakti Vidyam Bharati Maharaj, all our Rupanuga Guru Varga, offer obeisances to all devotees present, headed by our Tridandigan and all Srila Prabhupada disciples and all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Kishori Mohan Prabhu said we should remember the speciality of Srila Prabhupada. Wow. Where would you start? One of my fondest memories actually of Srila Prabhupada is very, very simple. My brain is such, I actually can't remember very much of what he said, like his classes or anything like that. He came to, in 1975, he came to Nairobi. And I'd been living in Mombasa, so I came up that time. And somebody told me that you should always, he's very happy if you do the same service for him every day. So every day I found a flower and I would offer to him at some point. And then time came, he left. So there was a drive up. There was a drive up, gravel drive, and the car was going slowly up, and somehow or other I found one aromatic flower, and I was running after the car. And I got to Prabhupada's window, but the window was closed. And then Brahmatirtha leant over him, and he wound down the window, and I just dropped the flower in, and he caught it in his hand. He just gave me this smile. That's what I remember about Prabhupada most, actually. I mean, there's a lot of other things as well. He's a cultural revolutionary like no other cultural revolutionary. It's not possible. It's absolutely not possible. He made black into white, white into black, gold into... He just turned everything upside down, inside out. As no one has ever done, as no one ever... The first to do that is the first to do that.
Yeah.
He made the framework. He's a spiritual ambassador. And he looked like it. So aristocratic. He's coming from a, business community. His father sold cloth. But he was so aristocratic. See these pictures of him walking. Oh my God. Such an amazing personality. I challenge you to find a boring picture of Srila Prabhupada. I challenge you. He's like a constant river of bhav. He's never like spaced out, nothing. Always deep, deep, deep moods. Very deep moods. He was actually a very prominent personality. In the Gaudiya Math, he was kind of Johnny-come-lately in a way. He wasn't so much. Because, he didn't take sannyas until sometime considerable time after Srila Saraswati Prabhupada left. He wasn't one of the main leaders. But he considered that actually he was a very key personality. He said we should act conjointly and I will manage. In one of his letters he sang like that. The others didn't agree. He said if we had 6 pure devotees we can take over the world in 9 days.
Wow.
Mad. Crazy. And mad is actually a key word for what went on. In my experience. Recently I was talking with somebody said, do you have any pictures from the 70s and 80s? What? Pictures? You know who you're talking with? I'm a recovering cult member. Just absolute wall-to-wall chaos. Chaos and trauma. Like Jeev Pavana Prabhu. You could see all this, what we went through. I mean, he was distributing books. I did some, but I didn't go through what he went through. Nobody tried to strangle me. We were mad for Prabhupada. Mad. I remember in 77, he was in he came down, that time, I mean his health had failed completely. He'd stopped walking, his skin and bone, and they brought him down from his room in a palanquin. So many devotees there, all over Europe, and all the big shots were there as well. GBCs, fantastic kirtans. Bhavan Prabhu at that time was an amazing kirtanier. Prabhupada was sitting in his palanquin next to the Vyasasan. At one point we had Vyasa Puja there. He was sitting next to his Vyasasan and Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he was relating the history of ISKCON. How they met here and met there, and Prabhupada said, sometimes in a garage. They had a big birthday cake, and I was sitting underneath the birthday cake. The birthday cake was right in front of Prabhupada. It was huge, absolutely gigantic. I was sitting under the cake. So the kirtan went on, and Prabhupada just moved his hands, just like that. Devotees went really crazy. And then they took him out. You know, at the manor there's the flight of steps, and then there's a small landing, square landing, and then another short flight of steps, and then onto his floor where his room was. So they took him up on the palanquin. I just forget who that was. They took him up on the palanquin, and they got to that first landing, and we were expecting, we'd see his side as he went up and onto it. But they stopped there, and then they turned the palanquin round. And Prabhupada was looking down on all the devotees. And it was really, really mad. And I remember another time also when, after Prabhupada left, when they installed the Murti of Prabhupada in New Vrindavan. So somehow or other I was there at that time. And it was a huge gathering of devotees there. And they had Abhishek of the Murti of Srila Prabhupada. And then they closed the curtains and bathed him, dressed him up properly like that. When they opened up the curtains, and again the devotees just went mad. It was Jai Prabhupada, Jai, and it went on and on and on and on. Such a personality. He so captured the hearts. His devotees, long after he left, in the early 90s, they came to see Srila Gurudev. And they'd say, "Oh, Gurudev, I've been chanting 15, 20 years. I don't have any taste. What should I do?" Gurudev said to his disciples, "Just see, 20 years chanting with no taste. This is Guru Nishta." He said, "You should have Guru Nishta like this." Prabhupada was a historic personality. He said, whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm thinking, whatever I'm writing, I'm thinking this is for 10,000 years. Now, who thinks like that? 10,000 years? Come on. Recorded history doesn't even go back 5,000 years.
Right.
It's crazy. It's completely crazy. He's writing the law books for 10,000 years. Kishore Mohan just related the other day that one devotee asked Gurudev that, what is Srila Prabhupada's Swarup in Chaitanya Lila? You said?
Yeah.
He said, that's his Swarup. That is Chaitanya Lila.
Yes.
So momentous. So momentous. So, Srila Prabhupada, Gurudev said, you can see how high the mountain is, but can you see how deep the mountain is? Nikunja Ratiketi Sita. My beloved brother Prabhupada Bhagavat Maharaj, he related how Srila Govinda Maharaj, he was relating, Srila Prabhupada, he was very attached to Rath Yatra. Right from childhood. He had his own Rath Yatra, he had a mini Rath Yatra, and he was leading in the streets, and his mum was cooking kachoris and like this. And then when he got to San Francisco, his health was not good. And he was just sitting in his room looking out, and he was drawing plans, and then he showed the devotees, said, here, you should make Rath Yatra, put it on a flatbed truck. That was the first, and they did, and they came to a bridge, I think, or wires or something like that, and the canopy was too tall, and everyone thought, what's going to happen now? And they cranked it down. Whoa, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So, Pujabhat Bhagavat Maharaj explains, so why is Prabhupada so attached to Rath Yatra? So very first Rath Yatra. Anyway, not so long past time, but Krishna has become so deep in Braj Bhav that they know they have to take him to Braj. So it was a big pastime. And in the end he comes to Braj. And he sees Srimati Radhika and he becomes melted like Jagannath. And they bring him back. And someone has to prepare the kunja. Someone has to prepare the kunja for Radha and Krishna to meet. So two manjaris went to prepare the kunja for this first meeting. And one of them is Nayana Mani Manjari, and the other one is Bimala Mani Manjari. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale. Same. My Guru Maharaj and his Guru Maharaj. Namaste. So, my beloved Guru Maharaj is a very, very, very tall, towering mountain, more than Mount Everest. And he's also a very, very, very deep mountain as well. So on this very auspicious day, I'm praying at his lotus feet that he'll kindly accept me as his servant and empower me to offer some useful and pleasing service to his lotus feet. Hare Krishna. Prabhupada ki.
You may have to ask them to be quiet again.
Hare Krishna. All the Vaishnavas from Bengal, please try to keep your voices down. This is the Tirobhav Mahamahotsava for Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. Radhe Radhe. Shh. Radhe Radhe. So in the Okay. So Pujapad Nemi Maharaj challenged us to find a boring picture of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada gave a picture to Shyamarani Didi and asked her to paint this picture of him. And she said, "But Prabhupada, you look so sad." And he told her that was a moment of ecstasy. So we might look and think it might be boring, but he's experiencing ecstasy. So how can we say that anything is boring? He's always in a state of ecstasy.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So next.
Maharaj, the whole parikrama is coming, and then there's going to be some more kirtan and then some more discussion. I'm concerned that you might be interrupted as you're speaking because they're all coming in now, and that would look like. No, it's just that there's 700 devotees are going to be coming in, and then we will continue with the program. I just don't want to start you speaking with all of them coming in. It will be disturbing for your flow. But they will ask you to speak for sure.
But I think, you mean they're consistent with the program?
Basically, they're joining the program.
I think Maharaj.
You should choose what we were going to do, and they can join us after. We're not going to turn it over to them.
No, it's just that 700 devotees will be coming in.
Let it happen, just let it go. He just didn't want you to be disturbed.
Next, I would like to call on Bhaktivedanta Padmanabha Maharaj to please come forward and offer your Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And I request all of you there, when the next big wave of devotees comes, please ask them to, well, how do you say Srivas? Ashte Bolu. There you go. Ashte Bolu.
Scream quietly.
We knew this would happen. We knew it would happen. So. He'll take care of it.
I want her to know that we are joining our program. And this is a secret. Okay, so we have a few more years. Then they'll gradually, and then we can ask them to speak. We're not going to Yeah, that's what Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim Yat kripa tamaham vande Shri Gurun Dinataranam. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin iti namane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Gurvagyam Shirishidharyam Shaktavesha Swarupane Hare Krishneti Mantrena Paschatya Prachya Tarane Vishvacharya Prabarjaya Divya Karunya Murtaye Shri Bhagavata Madhurya Gita Jnana Hridayane Gaura Shri Rupa Siddhanta Saraswati Nishevane Radha Krishna Padamboja Bringaya Gurave Namaha. Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaura Trise Namaha. Nityanandam Namastubhyam Prema Ananda Pradayane Kalo Kalmashanashaya Janava Pataye Namaha. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shakti Tam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Everyone, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo bolo, Hare Krishna, bolo bolo, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki. First of all, on this most auspicious day of the divine Tirubhav Mahamahotsav Tithi of my beloved Gurudev Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, I'm offering my unlimited Dandavat Pranams and my Shraddha Pushpanjali at his divine lotus feet, and I'm praying for his causeless mercy that I can speak even one iota of his unlimited infinite glories and qualities. I'm also offering my unlimited Dandavat Pranams at the lotus feet of my beloved Siksha Gurudevs Nitya-lila Pravishto Vishnupad Paramahansa Ashtatarashata Shri Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj and Nitya-lila Pravishto Vishnupad Paramahansa Ashtatarashata Shri Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. My Dandavat Pranams to the lotus feet of all of my Shri Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga, and my Dandavat Pranams to all the Vaishnavas and to all the Vaishnavas. I appreciated so very much the presentation made by my beloved godbrother Bhaktivedanta Nemi Maharaj to summarize in the way that he did some of the prominent features of this divine personality, Srila Prabhupada. And he stirred up in me so many different memories also. This morning I actually spoke also at Rup Sanatan Gaudiya Math for almost an hour. But I chose there, with the audience that I had, which was mainly Indian body devotees, to explain Srila Prabhupada's birth, his childhood, as he grew up, how he first met Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and so forth. All gradually leading up to his coming to Mathura, meeting Srila Narayan Maharaj there, and being invited to stay in Keshavji Gaudiya Math, and then the pressure being put on him that he should take sannyas by Srila Narayan Maharaj, and then his Guru Maharaj came, and then he did the finishing touches. So our Srila Prabhupada took sannyas from Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj. And I pointed out one thing that I wanted to mention, which came from Gurudev's own lotus mouth. This was probably around 1998 or so, something like that, 97, on our Kartik Braj Mandal Prikrama, and it was on the day of Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj's appearance day, which we already celebrated. And we were at Rup Sanatan, and there was not a huge crowd of devotees, but then Gurudev, for our sake, because some of us had become connected with Srila Sridhar Maharaj, some by initiation, some by Siksha, and so forth. So, Gurudev, he posed a question to us, which caught us off guard a little bit. The question was, can you say why your Prabhupada took sannyas from my Guru Maharaj and not from Pujapad Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj? So I remember making some effort to answer that question. I don't even remember exactly what it is that I tried to say. but the fact of the matter is that whatever I said, he said, no, that is not the reason. So then we requested Gurudev, please tell us the reason. And then Gurudev said something that maybe even slightly confused us a little bit more. He said he took sannyas from my Guru Maharaj because they were bosom friends. And when he said that, at that time we didn't really know that much about the relationship between Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj and our Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. We did not know so much at that time, but he said that to us. And we also thought, we also thought that Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj was also a very intimate friend of Srila Prabhupada, which he was. But yet Gurudev phrased it in that way. Why did he take from my Guru, not from him? And the answer given, they were bosom friends. So, amongst ourselves, I remember Vaikanas Maharaj was there and a few others, and we came to the conclusion that what Srila Prabhupada, what Srila Gurudev was expressing in this regard, he had witnessed their relationship, the relationship between Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj and Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj for many years, from the 1930s, probably even the 1920s, late 1920s. And he had seen what their relationship is. And he had seen both of their natures, how they would communicate together. And the thing is that although Srila Sridhar Maharaj certainly was very completely worshipped and revered by our Srila Prabhupada, but he himself would talk about his own nature. He said, I'm a backward pushing man. And that was his nature, to kind of retreat into the background and not be so much in the foreground. So, but Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj was a lion. Do you know what sound the lion makes?
Close your ears, guys.
I want to hear you all growl like a lion. Come on! And what happens when a lion growls? elephants run away. Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj truly was Acharya Singha. And our Srila Prabhupada, although he didn't manifest it as much in his householder years, but when he took to the world stage, and even though he was still very, very humble, especially in the early days, he was very, very humble. The way that he dealt with his early disciples. I want you to know that if you truly want to kind of enter into the inner chambers of experiencing what it must have been like to be with Srila Prabhupada in those very early days, then you should read the books of the devotees who wrote all of their memories about the completely first beginning stages at 26 2nd Avenue and so forth. Like Mukunda Maharaj's book, like Shyamasundar Prabhu's book, like Guru Das's book, like Yamuna Devi's books. These are the devotees who were there. Who else?
Shamarani.
Oh, Shamarani! Yes!
Achutananda.
Yeah, Achutananda's book, even Brahmananda's book, although it was kind of written partly by another devotee. But that's one of my favorite hobbies. You know, usually we don't have hobbies as devotees, but that's one of my favorite hobbies. Because when I open up Govinda Dasi, I just finished reading her book. Tells the whole story for the first year, how she directly had association with Prabhupada, how Srila Prabhupada was able to charm the hearts, to draw them close, to begin to train them in the philosophy. Every single step of the way, Prabhupada was like a mother, like a father, like the most dear, well-wishing friend. And, of course, he was astonishing in his ability to explain this Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta in the English language, which he was ordered to do. And he practiced to fulfill that order by writing articles in English for like 20, 30 years before he went to the West. He was gearing up. And then 3 years at Radha Damodar, writing the purports, translating the Srimad Bhagavatam first canto, and those 3 books are the masterpiece of this Kali Yuga. Yes? Nobody had done that. Nobody. Even there were some godbrothers, very erudite scholars, like Bhakti Hriday Bon Maharaj. And we saw his lectures, but he was targeting like an intellectual kind of class in England at the time. That was his target audience. And it was appropriate for that time. But he really could not, you know, what do you call it? Make a base. He couldn't make a base. But Srila Prabhupada, he went to the lowest place in New York City, practically one of the lowest places. What was it called? The Lower East Side, you know? The Bowery. You know what the Bowery was known for? Drunkards lying on the streets. When Prabhupada would come out from 26 2nd Avenue, the drunkards would be lying at the door that he was coming out from, like blocking the door. And then Prabhupada would nudge the door a little bit and they would see, oh, it's the Swami. And then they rolled over so that they wouldn't block the way. You know, Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, I want to mention this. Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, one of the greatest Siddhantic authorities in the history of the Gaudiya Math. He became the Siddhanta Acharya after the disappearance of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Everyone who had any Siddhantic question or there was some controversy, whatever, they'd go to him and they'd consult with him. Even his enemies would come and consult with him. And he asked them, why are you coming to consult with me? Because we see that you have very keen, sharp intelligence and you're not prejudiced. You're judging everyone. This is my enemy, this is my friend, like this. So we're coming to consult with you. Anyway, Sridhar Maharaj was approached to look at the prayer that was written by our A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada when he was crossing the Jaladuta, after he had had his heart attacks, and now he penned his beautiful Bengali prayer, poem, song on the Jaladuta. And then a little bit less than 2 weeks later, they arrived at Boston Harbor. Prabhupada went onto the shore with the captain. They drove around a little bit, and Prabhupada saw the faces of the people in the West for the first time. Then he came back on the boat and he wrote another prayer, Markane Bhagavata Dharma. So what secrets, what deep, intimate truths did he put into that prayer, especially the one on the Jaladuta, which is called Krishna Tava Punya Bhave Bhai. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj analyzed the prayer. And he also mentioned that in the beginning, the first line of the prayer, where he mentions, is that the prayer?
Yeah.
Oh. Thank you. Yeah, okay. So in the first line, it's the refrain. It's a refrain. It's sung after every verse. So he says, Krishna Tava Punya Habe Bhai, E Punya Koribe Jabe, Radharani Kushi Habe, Dhruvayati Boli Tomatai. What is he expressing here? He's saying, Oh Krishna, I am telling you very emphatically, the ISKCON translation is not completely accurate. Yes. So, he's addressing Krishna as Bhai, very intimate, like a brother. E punye koribe jabe, Radharani kushi habe. E punya koribe jabe means that you will obtain your good fortune. You know that, Krishna. You know that. You're always seeking your good fortune. And how will that be obtained? Radharani Kushi Habe. When Radharani is pleased with you. Dhruva Ati Boli Tomatai. I am saying this to you emphatically. Why is he mentioning Radharani? His first line, the second line that he penned, Radharani Kushi Habe. Why? Because he's in the Gana. Because he's in the Gana of Shri Radha, under the guidance of Lalita Devi, under the guidance of Rupa Manjari, under the guidance of
Nayanamani Manjari,
all the others. So Prabhupada, we could not understand years and years ago, but Srila Sridhar Maharaj explained this, and so did our Gurudev. So did our Gurudev. And the point that he is making is that this mission, that's the objective, this is the goal. And what is he doing? Srila Sridhar Maharaj said he's trying to recruit Krishna. He's trying to recruit him into his campaign. And because that campaign will be very pleasing to Srimati Radharani. And you want that, Krishna, don't you? Don't you? Yes, you want that. So it's like a negotiation, this first line. So what I was going to say about this prayer and about what he's expressing here, Srila Sridhar Maharaj read this. And then he made his comments. And his comment was that Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj was praying in a completely helpless way. Helpless. And he was praying that this is not possible for me to do at all. But, O Krishna, you can make the impossible possible. So I'm praying to you that you will mercifully give your Shakti, your power. And then Srila Sridhar Maharaj said, at that time, because he made himself so empty, he used the word empty, of any other desire. No 0.000 any other desire. Empty. Only one. And what was that one desire? To carry out the order of his spiritual master. So, then Srila Sridhar Maharaj said, divine power had to descend. What does that mean? It was forced. The divine power was forced to descend. Why? Because of his mood of helplessness and his determination to carry out the order of his Guru Maharaj. Divine power had to descend. Therefore, I declare him to be Shakti Avesh. What does that mean? That's not something usual, ordinary, that the masses of people you'll find hundreds and thousands of. No. Extremely rare. When divine power descends in a person, in a jiva. In this case, that divine power descended into his heart. And then Srila Sridhar Maharaj was asked, when he told divine power, I declare him to be Shaktivesh. One of his very early disciples, who later became Bhakti Sundar Govinda Maharaj, he asked him the question, "Oh Guru Maharaj, which power? Which Shakti?" Why is he asking that question? Because all Shakti Avesh, they have different Shaktis of Krishna. The literary Shakti, like Narada Muni, like Vyasadeva. The Bhakti Shakti, Narada Muni, Maharaj, in the 4th canto, Maharaj. Can't remember. Prithu, yes. And he was the maintenance Shakti. So Krishna has hundreds and thousands, probably millions of different Shaktis. So he was asking the question, which Shakti came down to empower him? And then he said, Nityananda Shakti. I declare him to be so. And his behavior and his activities corroborate this. Why? Because Nityananda Prabhu went everywhere. He did not discriminate at all. Srila Prabhupada went to the lowest areas, to the people that were derelicts, the people that were ex-beatnik hippie types who were taking all kinds of drugs and intoxication and this and that. And he went there and he began his mission there. And not only that, but he was always aiming at the general public. Always. And this is Nityananda's method of preaching. And Nityananda Prabhu, he didn't hold back at all. He gave his full mercy to anyone who would agree to chant the holy names of Krishna. So, what did Srila Prabhupada do? He went into a park, and he sat with a pair of kartals, and he began to sing, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. And then he sang, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Our Gurudev used to tell this on his first tour, many times. He went to a park, all alone, and he began to chant, Hare Krishna, Jai Maharaj.
Nityananda Shakti.
No, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada in the park.
Yes. So when our Gurudev came on his first tour in 1996, and at the end of his tour he came to New York, and he went to Tompkins Square Park, the very place that Prabhupada came. And Shamrani Didi was also there, and he asked her, where did you first meet Swamiji? And she told the little story of how she first saw him here, right? And then Shamrani asked him, so Gurudev, can you lead the chanting? Gurudev wanted to start kirtan and circumambulate the tree. And then in a kind of hesitating way, he began to sing, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. And then he continued, and then he began to chant the Maha Mantra. And that was a very historical moment. Then Gurudev left there after a visit, and he went to 26 2nd Avenue. And you can see the videos, thanks to our dear godbrother Rasaraj Prabhu, the only video camera at that time. So Srila Prabhupada, he started there. And it's such an amazing story, how the devotees, without their really knowing it, they were turned into Vaishnavas. They were turned into Vaishnavas. Prabhupada cooked for them and fed them, practically with his own hand to the mouth like babies. He cooked for them. He taught them how to cook. He offered them the prasad. He came out, chanted Hare Krishna. You can see the videos of the room full of devotees. And from nothing, now Vaishnavas were born. Vaishnavas manifested. And some of them were manifested more than others. But the story continues. And how Mukunda went, he said to Prabhupada, after he got married by Prabhupada, after he was initiated, him and his wife Janaki, the sister of Yamuna, then he said, Prabhupada, they didn't call him Prabhupada at that time, Swamiji. Oh, we have an opportunity to go to India. So we're going to go to India. Can you imagine how Prabhupada felt that here's one of the leading disciples who arranged for him to get that place, and now they're thinking that they need to go to India. But Prabhupada didn't counter it. But you know what he said to him? He said, okay. Because he told them that along the way he's going to visit a friend from his university, and then he's going to fly off to India, or take a ship. I don't even know what kind of transportation he was planning to take. But then Prabhupada said to him, before he left, if you have a chance, try to start a temple. So what happens? He goes to Oregon, where his college buddy, Sam Spirstra, who later became Shama Sundar, and his girlfriend, Malati, who later became Malati, they were in a lookout house in the middle of the forest, up in the forests of Oregon, and looking for fires and reporting the fires. So when Mukunda and his wife came, they began to tell their experience with the Swami. And this Sam, he was leaning forward and he was all ears, and then Yamuna arrives there because it's her sister's, and she has her boyfriend with him, who later became Guru Das, and they're also hearing all of this report. So the next day, Mukunda tells the story that he's lying on a little pond next to their house there. And he has a daydream given directly by Krishna to him while he's kind of like like a daydream. And he's lying on this boat in the afternoon time, and what does he see? He sees horrific, frightening images of Hindu-Muslim rioting and killing and this and that. And he wakes up and says, we're not going to India. Krishna stopped them in their tracks. Then they said, let's go down to San Francisco. It's all happening down in Haight-Ashbury. They came down to San Francisco, and then they started a temple. So this is the beginning. Many, many other temples came, one after the other after the other. And Srila Prabhupada, after he went back to India because of his health, then he came back again, and he was now a little bit more healthy. And then at the end of 69, in 1970, the very week that I joined the temple, August 3rd, 1970, Srila Prabhupada was planning to leave America and go back to India to start his movement. At that point, Prabhupada probably had about 8 or 10 temples, some in America, some in Canada, some in Europe, like that. And he had launched the Krishna consciousness movement in England. And the Beatles, the most famous musicians on the surface of the earth, they hosted Prabhupada in their house, John Lennon, and like that. And then George Harrison, he began to host the devotees. So in this way, I lost track of time as I was talking.
So
anyway, I'll finish very soon now. So Prabhupada was victorious on a world scale. So now he thought, okay, now it's time to go back to India and start the movement here in India. And then, Prabhupada used to talk for like 2-3 years about having a World Sankirtan Party. He called it the World Sankirtan Party. And what happened? Yes, he summoned various disciples and about 30 very capable devotees, senior at that time, a couple of years, 2-3 years devotees. They came and they assembled, and Prabhupada went all over India for 10 months non-stop with his World Sankirtan Party at Pandal tents, big huge Pandal programs in the businessmen's homes, in their factory, everywhere. And their job was simply to chant and dance.
Dancing white elephants?
Yes, and that's when I think Srila Prabhupada said it,
Yeah.
But Srila Prabhupada, he was very proud that he had these Western light-skinned disciples, and he called them my dancing white elephants. So I was in America waiting. From the first day that I joined the temple, when will Prabhupada come back? Nobody knew. Nobody knew. There were rumors Prabhupada was never coming back to America. I had just turned 18 years of age. And we were doing Sankirtan 6 hours every single day. Then after 2 months, I was sent to start the Chicago temple with another couple of other devotees. And we stayed in the downtown area of Chicago, one of the biggest cities on the intersection of State Street and Madison, which was considered to be one of the most populated street corners of any city in the world. And we stood there every day, 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon, chanting, dancing, and through the winter. And you can imagine, it's like Moscow in the winter, snow, ice, severe cold weather. And we would only last for about a half an hour on the kirtan, then we'd have to go in the vestibule, the entryway to this big, gigantic department store. Back in those days, they had those department stores, And then we would warm our hands by the heater, then we'd go out again for another half an hour. This is how we did. And I want to tell you that although I didn't meet Prabhupada physically up to that point, but Prabhupada came into my heart. Yes. And he manifested his mercy. And we, as Nemi Maharaj expressed, we went crazy over Prabhupada. We were ready to do anything. I remember standing, and I was a bit shy when I was younger, and I remember standing in this big, huge area where all the business people are coming out from the big tall buildings for their lunch period, and we're chanting. There's like 4 of us. We're chanting. Bahalasva, Paramahansa, Parivrajagacharya, and me. The 4. They later became. We didn't have our initiated names yet.
Okay.
So we're chanting and dancing, and there's like more people than are here in this room. The public, and they're all like looking at us and wondering who are we and what are we doing? So then one of us steps forward. I remember just having turned 18 years of age and stepping forward and addressing this audience and telling them about Krishna, telling them about the chanting of the holy names, telling them how we're eternal living entities, part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Short. 5 minutes, like that. So Prabhupada did miracles.
Yeah.
He did such incredible miracles by converting persons from the West who had absolutely no background, in Indian culture, Indian religion, anything. Huh? So, in this way we waited for Prabhupada. And this will be the last thing that I tell, when Srila Prabhupada arrived. So, Srila Prabhupada, we got the news, Prabhupada has returned from India. It was around June of 1971. And the news was informing us that Srila Prabhupada is going to be coming to Detroit. Bhavan arranged that, actually. He sent a separate return ticket to Prabhupada in Los Angeles. And so now our temple president, Bahulasva, told us, write your request letter to Srila Prabhupada that you can become his disciple. He'll accept you as your disciple. So the three of us took a pen and paper and I went off to a corner. And as I began writing, my mood was, maybe he won't accept me. I actually had that doubt. Because we had waited a whole year. Maybe he won't accept me. So my letter was that I had to convince him. I had to convince Srila Prabhupada, please accept me. And here's the reasons why. Because if you don't, I'll be wandering in this material ocean of birth and death for millions of more lifetimes. Now I've come to your lotus feet. Things like that. So, we sent off our letters, and then a few days later, we hitchhiked up to Detroit. And when we reached Detroit, it was 2 days before Prabhupada's arrival, and the whole temple was bustling with like a couple of hundred devotees who had come from Canada and all directions. And they were repainting, and painting stencils and decorating everything. So when we arrived, Bhagavan said, your letter from Prabhupada has come. He said to the three of us. And he went into his office and got the letter. The letter also included our Japamala, which Prabhupada had chanted on. So we took the letter, and I remember just again going off alone into a corner and opening the letter with great nervousness to see what Prabhupada's response would be. And then when I opened up the letter, my dear such and such, my birth name, I am in due receipt of your letter dated such and such. By the recommendation of Bahulasva and Bhagavan Prabhus, I gladly consent to accept you as my duly initiated disciple. Then he said, I have given you the name Urukrama Das, Brahmachari. Urukrama is a name of Krishna, and it means one whose activities are glorious. So then he said, I want that you will help to make our Chicago Center a grand success. Then Prabhupada said, you say that you are experiencing some difficulty. At that point I understood Prabhupada actually, he had read my entire letter, 4 pages.
Wow.
He said, I can see by your letter that you're a very sincere boy. Then he said, you say that you are experiencing some difficulty, because I expressed something to him. And he said to me an instruction that every single one of us can keep in the core of our heart, because it's basically the instruction of Tatenu Kampam. But he told me in just 1 or 2 sentences, he said, you say you are experiencing some difficulty, but that is Krishna's mercy upon you.
Wow.
And I was like, what? I couldn't quite understand how difficulty is actually Krishna's mercy. And then he said, that is Krishna's mercy upon you, to make you turn to him more and more. And then I understood, okay. For my whole life, I've remembered those words. Whatever happens, the mercy of Krishna. Whether we think it's good, bad, this or that. So, 2 days later, we all went to the airport. And most of us sitting there at the airport, we hadn't seen Prabhupada, because we all joined during that 1 year while Prabhupada was gone. Everything just like exploded in America at that time. So, we were waiting in the airport itself. There had been a permission given by the airport authorities to bring like a small Vyasasan for Prabhupada to sit on when he comes out from the airplane. And we were right there where the passengers come off of the airplane. And the non-devotee passengers, they're all like, like this whole room full of people and chanting and kirtan and all of that. And then one devotee, finally, after all those people got off the airplane, then one devotee came and he said, Prabhupada's coming now. And our hearts, they were beating so strong. What's it going to be like to see Prabhupada in person?
Wow.
And then Prabhupada appeared in the doorway. And he moved forward a little bit with his cane, and he looked at us with such a big, contented smile on his face you cannot imagine. Big, huge smile. That he had left for a whole year, and now everything expanded while he was gone. And then Prabhupada began walking forward slowly and looking at all of us. And everyone was weeping. There was not a single devotee there who was not drenched with tears. And then Kirtanananda Swami came forward and garlanded Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada embraced him, and he broke down crying like a child. Bhavan came and garlanded Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada embraced him, and he broke down like a child, crying and weeping. So, Srila Prabhupada came and sat there for 5 minutes, and it's the first time I saw him speak. And remember, we're repeating his words, his instructions for a whole year. And now I'm seeing him telling his instructions. And he said, I have just now come from Moscow. I have just now come. There was one Professor Kotovsky. He was a big scholar in Moscow. So I had a conversation with him, and even though he was so highly educated, and I'm sitting like right here, and Prabhupada's here. I'm seeing from his side view, like the Back to Godhead picture, you know. And then with Prabhupada's finger. And Prabhupada said, this Professor Kotovsky, I was speaking with him, but he could not understand the most basic elemental philosophy. I am not this body. He went like that. And I realized I'm actually sitting in front of a pure devotee who knows he's not this body 1,000,000%, and he knows exactly who he is. So Prabhupada came, we went through the airport, he was driven back, he spent 3 days, only 3 days, and it was like eternity. We got initiated by Prabhupada at that time, and you know, it's unforgettable. So Srila Prabhupada is our savior. He's our savior. And so, you know, all the Western devotees feel that a lot because we came through Prabhupada. If it was not him that came, we would never know anything about Krishna. So, in this audience here today, this auspicious audience, this auspicious day, at this auspicious location, I'm offering my unlimited Dandavat pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, praying for his causeless mercy to rain down on our heads so that we can have even one tiny, minuscule millionth of a percentage of the determination to serve our spiritual master as he exhibited. Gaur Premanandi. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Savior of the world, Srila Prabhupada ki. Gaur Premanandi. Oh, yes, so who?
Yeah, go.
Okay. We have to move the microphone over there.
Oh, well, okay, that's going to take a little bit of time. 1 second. I have to move the speaker as well. You can't move the mic? The mic over here?
You want to, this is like, I can put it off because they don't want it. Tungavi Devi don't want it. I'll take it back.
another devotee named Rukmini or something?
I don't know. I mean,